We are doing Word Chapter 1, Project 1B, which starts on page 209. And we're doing Objective 5, Change Document and Paragraph Layout. And before we start this, we need to open up the document. So let's go to our File menu and come on, File menu, and let's choose Open. And all of my stuff is on SkyDrive, so I'm going to go to my SkyDrive folder here and go to Word. We're on Chapter 1 and we're doing Project 1B. Student Activities is the file that we want. Open it up and there's our document. First thing we're going to do every time is we're going to save the document under a new name. That'll let us keep straight the original file and the file that we've done editing on. You can always go back to the original easily that way. And we're going to put last name, first name with underscores in there, and go ahead and save it. And we're going to go to the Page Layout tab. And on the Page Layout tab, we're going to go to Margins, and we want to do Custom Margins down here at the bottom. And what I want to do is I want to set my left margin to just 1 inch, and I want to set my right margin to 1 inch. So just type over those existing values and make sure it says apply to whole document down here, which I think is the default, and then go ahead and click on OK. And another thing we're going to do in all of our assignments here is we're going to go down here to the footer, and there's two ways to get here. One way is just to double click in the footer, which I just did, and we're always going to put our file name there, and that's a quick part, and it's under field, and we're going to do the file name. Click on OK, and it'll put our file name in there, and then it says to save it, which is probably a good idea to do every once in a while. Now we're on activity 1.14, and we're going to look at aligning text. Let's go back to the Home tab here where all the alignment stuff is, and these are my 4 alignment buttons, and left, center, right, and justify. And if you pause the mouse, you'll see the shortcut keys here. Control L is for left. This one's a little harder to remember. Control E is to center. Control R is for right. Control J is for justify. The reason I don't use C for center is because that's already spoken for. It's the copy command. And the way I remember this is if text is centered, it has equal margins on both sides. Okay. So we're supposed to scroll to the middle of page 2. First we got to get out of here. We can either go to Design and click on Close, or we can just double click in a document and scroll to the middle of page 2. So I'm in the middle of page 2 here somewhere. And look at the left and right margins. Notice that the text is justified. It is. And on the Home tab, notice that the Justify button is pushed in. Okay, we're supposed to find the paragraph that begins with every spring students vote, which is right here. And all they're having us do is look and see that the spaces are a little bit wider down here because our text is justified. And now what we're going to do is we're going to select all of the document. The shortcut is Control A on the keyboard, so that's what I'm going to do. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go up here and we're going to make the entire document left aligned. And notice when I do that, now I get a ragged margin over here on the right. And now we're going to do a Control Home, and we're back up at the top of the document. Okay, we want to select the left paragraph here. The easy way to do it is go to the left margin. I'm sorry, the top paragraph. Go to the left margin, and when you get the white arrow pointing at 1 o'clock, click, and it says on the mini toolbar, set the font size to 26. Okay, we want to select both of these lines here, And we want to center both of them, so we're going to go up here and click on the center button in the alignment group here under paragraph. I want to go down to the bottom of page 1 and locate the first bold subheading called Student Government, and we want to select the whole line. And now we're going to scroll down to clubs down here, and we're going to select multiple things. You have to hold the control key down to do a non-adjacent selection like this. And now on the mini toolbar, I want to center both of these, so I'm going to click on the center button here, and now both of those are centered. If I scroll back up, the other thing is centered as well. Okay, now we're going to take a look at changing the line spacing. Okay, do a Control Home to go to the top of the document. Press Control A to select the entire document. And right now, this is where line spacing is. And right now, the whole thing is set on double spacing. And what we want is we want 1.15. It's just a little more than single spacing. It puts a little extra space in between the lines and makes it a little bit easier to read. Okay, activity 1.16 on page 213. Below the title and subtitle, click anywhere in the Your Experience paragraph here, and we're going to go to the Home tab, which we're already on. Go to the Paragraph group, and in the lower right-hand corner here, this button is called the Dialog Box Launcher. And you click on that, and it launches a dialog box like you would expect. And we want the Indents and Spacing tab, and we want to go down here to the Indentation group, which is all of this stuff. And we want to click the special down arrow here, and we want the first line to be indented by 1/2 inch. That's the default. And click on OK. And if you look up here, you'll see the first line indent marker on the ruler is indented by 1/2 inch. Okay. And there's another paragraph down here that starts with as a registered student, and we want to do the same thing here. And actually the easy way to do it is just grab that top marker and drag it in. Now we want to do a Control A to select the entire document. You know what, I skipped a step here. We're supposed to do the same thing on this paragraph as well. Let's go back and fix that. Okay, now it looks like it does in the book. Now do Control A to select everything. And I want to go to the Page Layout tab, and I want to go to the Paragraph group over here, and this is where you can control spacing between paragraphs. I can do some space before or after every paragraph. Right now it's doing 10 points after every paragraph. And if you look here at the end of any paragraph, you can see there's a little more blue space at the bottom than there is any place else. So that's that extra 10 points that we're getting after each paragraph, and we're supposed to change that to 6. Now, it normally goes in multiples of 6, so if I click the down arrow there, it'll take me down to 6 points. And now let's do a Control Home. I'm at the bottom of page 214, and I want to scroll down to see some more of page 1. And I want to select the Student Government line here, and I want to do a Control, hold Control down and select Clubs. And we're going to change a little bit of spacing before those, because those are, you know, new groups in my document. And I want the spacing before to be 12 points. And so that'll give me a little more space up here before each one of those headings as well. Okay, objective 6 is to create and modify lists. we want to go to the upper part of page 1 and locate the paragraph that begins volunteering to help. That would be this paragraph right here. And we want to drag down and get this and the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 paragraphs. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go to the Home tab and we're going to click on the Bullets button, and that'll put bullets in front of every line. And it says take a look up here, and we've got a hanging indent where the first line sticks out a little bit to the left. This, if you click on it, you see that line there, it's marking the edge of all of the bullets, and this is marking the edge of all of the text. So you notice down here where I've got 2 lines, the subsequent line begins down here, so everything lines up and looks nice. Now let's scroll down to page 2. And we want to select all the paragraphs that indicate the club names and meeting dates, which would be this text right here. And we want to make that a bulleted list as well. So go up here on the Home tab to the paragraph group and click on the bulleted list. And that's probably a good place to stop. And on the next video, we'll pick up with activity 1.18.